Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Startup Central, and let's now put the spotlight on Blue Tokai Coffee Roasters. Well, the company has reached the milestone of achieving 400 crores in annual recurring revenue. Reports suggest that the company is looking to open more outlets as well over the next 3 years. And to speak about growth and expansion, we're now joined by Matt Chitharanjan, the co-founder and CEO of Blue Tokai. Thank you very much, Matt, for joining us here on ET Now. First things first, the company has reached a milestone of achieving, like I was saying, 400 crores in ARR. What's the revenue guidance then you have for the company going ahead over the next couple of years, and how much capital are you infusing in the company? And thirdly, let me make this part of this question only. Are you profitable as a company?
Yeah, so I just would like to start off by saying thank you for having me. And the last 2 years have really been great for us. From going from 220 crore revenue last year to reaching a 400 crore ARR rate already in December. That's very good growth. We expect to close this year around 350 crore, and we're targeting 550 next year with the goal of reaching 1,000 crore in 3 years. One other thing I'd just like to highlight is that this last quarter we've turned profitable for the first time. So that's been a great achievement for us as well.
Okay, that's wonderful, given that, you are a company that started only a couple of years back, and now you're aiming for 1,000 crores in ARR over the next 3 years. But Matt, help us also understand, where are these revenues coming from in terms of which verticals of the overall business?
So 75% of our overall revenue comes from the cafes, but actually we are an omni-channel brand. And so of that 75%, roughly 15% is coming from the sale of products. So that's, our coffee, our breads. So when you add that up, almost 40% of our revenue is coming from people consuming our products outside of their home.
Okay, and in terms of store expansion, I was just mentioning while I was introducing you and of course about your company, you currently have 133 stores and there are plans to open some more outlets over the next 3 years. So help us understand, what are your expansion plans, especially as far as the India market is concerned, because competition in the coffee and beverages, whether hot or cold, is building up. There are different variants coming up. You have Korean matcha coming, and then you have several other formats also coming in. So how are you looking at dealing with competition and staying as relevant as you are now?
So I think one thing you have to understand is that India as a country is very under-penetrated in terms of the cafe segment. It's gone from a 2,000 crore total market size to a 4,000 crore market size currently in the last 5 years. But that's still very small relative to what it could be in other countries. So there are a couple of tailwinds here. One is that as incomes rise, you see people consuming more and more coffee. So in markets like China, they have 100,000 cafes. Here in India, we're sitting at only 4,000 right now. So there's incredible headroom for us to grow. So I think that everybody is seeing that opportunity. You see a lot of brands entering. For us, we'll end this year at 152 cafes, but we see very easily opening up 80 to 90 a year for the next couple of years.
All right, so 80 to 90 cafes per year over the next couple of years is the guidance that you have as far as store expansion is concerned, and which is where you say, Matt, you're seeing a growth. But speaking of channels, you also partnered recently with Swiggy Snack to sell products like breakfast staples and even beverages. What is the kind of opportunity do you see so far as quick commerce is concerned? Because this is also a channel, and quick commerce versus e-commerce as a channel.
So I think it's important to distinguish between the snack property that they have as well as the overall quick commerce. So we've seen tremendous growth for our coffee on quick commerce. We're one of the market leaders for the roasted and ground segment across all of the 3 quick commerce players. But what's really encouraging for us is the growth of our bakery brand Suchali's. So similar to what we're seeing with coffee, where people are increasingly looking for premium options in the coffee segment, those same customers are looking for premium options on the bakery segment. So sourdough is a category that has really exploded in the last few years. And now we're currently almost doing as much business on the bakery brand as we are on the Blue Tokai coffee brand. In terms of the snack, I think it's an interesting proposition, having coffee delivered in 10 minutes. But it's very early in that journey. So it's a bit too early to comment what kind of the customer feedback is going to be there.
You know, that's absolutely wonderful, given that you can get coffee in just 10 minutes. That really helps a lot of working individuals and, of course, others as well, who sometimes have to wait for at least 30 minutes to get their coffee and other beverages delivered. So thumbs up to that, Matt. Let me come back to the ARR, figure and, of course, the other financials that you mentioned. I want to also understand from you the kind of margins that the company has, and will they be sustainable given the rising prices of coffee globally that we've seen? Don't you think that might take a toll on your margins, and hence will then there be a price hike that you'll be thinking about?
So I think it's important to split that between the cafe and the non-cafe segment. As I'm sure people are aware, coffee is at a 50-year high. The raw coffee prices have increased by 25% compared to last year. So that's definitely going to impact margins on the packaged coffee products as well as the B2B offering. On the cafe side, it won't have as much of an impact because coffee is used less intensely there. But I think this current price point is really more reflective of what a steady state price is going to be for coffee, given everything that's going on with climate change. So it's good that people started getting adjusted to it now, because I think these high prices are here to stay going forward.
But will you be looking at a price hike, and will that be passed on to consumers?
So we recently had a small price hike at the cafes because it's not just coffee that's become more expensive. There's been inflation in milk, inflation in packaging. But and every year we do a nominal increase of around 5%. So I don't think even despite the huge increase in prices this year, we would have to go beyond that.
So inflation, you're saying, is a bit of a concern, and we do hope that that doesn't really pinch urban consumption of coffee. On that note, thank you very much, Matt, for sharing your thoughts and perspectives with us and helping us know more about the company and its growth prospects and the vision that you have for the company's growth over the next couple of years. Thanks very much once again for joining us here on ET Now. And later